All right, now, the reason why you can't do this if you're trying this already is because this has a trick.
You can't do it first.
No, there's definitely a rule.
Wait, so I can't.
I'm just saying you can't do it yet, unless you're just being a genius.
No.
So, what you're probably trying right now is you're probably breaking it down into X's and Y's,
No.
if you tried it. But here's actually a method we can do. Do you see this 1 minus sine theta? That looks to me like, I mean, it feels like it should be x squared. It's on the bottom of your paper. It says 1 minus sine squared equals cosine squared. But is that 1 minus sine squared?
No, it's not.
No. It is...
Negative cos.
Yeah, she just left the classroom, and she said she was going to leave and go to the entryway. So you can check on her there, or the office, okay? I'll call about that.
Oh boy, it's writing down. So A minus B times.
Hey, Sophia should have been coming your way.
No.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
No. Is this our green sheet?
Yes.
Yeah, actually.
It's the easiest one on the green sheet. Calm down.
Because
You guys, I could have said anything. I could have been like, look, it's a kid, and you guys are like, oh no, not again. All right, like,
do I have to grab my green sheet?
no. Just do this with me. What's, if we're gonna, can we do this in our head now without using a box?
Foil. A squared. AB. Negative AB.
You're like a computer rebooting.
And a negative B squared. A squared plus B, A squared minus B squared. Did I do it wrong?
You did it right.
Oh.
I'm listening to Caitlin right now.
Would it be negative like b though? Like
It's
the second one?
negative B plus B is negative B squared.
Jackson.
No, I'm talking about for the negative AB, like the
This,
one in,
the
yeah.
inside one is negative AB, and the outside one is positive AB.
Oh, it doesn't matter which way they go.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the order in which, as long as you add them together. All right, you guys remember that those cancel out? We end up with A squared minus B squared. Now the goal is we want to try to get to 1 minus sine squared. And we can't just multiply by sine, because then we'd have to distribute it to both of them, right? So instead, what we're going to do is a trick. We're going to multiply this by 1 plus sine squared. Do you see how that's going to do this, the a plus b, a minus b, and in the end we should end up with 1 squared minus sine squared, and 1 squared is 1. But if you do it to the bottom, you have to do it to the top.
We're multiplying by 1 plus sine squared.
Yes, 1 plus sine squared on the top and the bottom, which is why we're allowed to do this.
Oh, you didn't write squared.
Oh no, just 1 plus sine.
Oh.
Because when I multiply it out, 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times sine theta is sine theta. 1 times a negative sine theta is negative sine theta. And sine theta times negative sine theta is negative sine squared theta. So we're going to get the formula I want to get. All right. So now that I've done this, on the bottom, if we multiply this out, we get 1 times 1 is 1, right? Sine times 1 is sine theta. Negative sine theta times 1 is negative sine theta, and then these two together make negative sine squared theta. So this is going to end up being 1 minus sine squared theta. Do you want me to write the in-between step here?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
If
are
you
you
would,
just
please.
distributing?
I'm just foiling. I'm just foiling or using a box, but I can do it down here. So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times sine theta is sine theta. 1 times negative sine theta is negative sine theta. Sine theta times sine theta, we got a negative sine squared theta. Do you see how the sine theta and the negative sine theta are going to cancel out? And we're left with 1 minus sine squared theta. And do you guys understand why I chose to do that? Because now it's on the sheet. Now I can use 1 minus sine squared and replace it with cosine squared.
I think you're cosine.
But on the top, first we have to distribute this cosine. You know what, let's just leave it like this. Let's just leave it as cosine theta right now times 1 plus sine theta. Are you guys seeing how this is getting better? Like, look at the other side. When I'm doing a proof, I'm looking between the sides and I'm thinking this. I'm thinking right now, okay, this is this. That's good, right? Now, if only I could get rid of that cosine on the top. And I did this so that I could replace this with what?
Cosine squared.
Cosine squared.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
and it's equal to-
Whoa. Okay, so this is cosine theta. 1 plus sine theta here. This turns into cosine squared theta. And remember, the only reason that happens is because it's on the bottom of your unit circle right here. It says 1 minus sine squared theta equals cosine squared theta. And now what?
So the cosines cancel out, because technically on the bottom it's cosine times cosine.
Right, this is cosine times cosine. So I'm going to get rid of that square and cross out that cosine. And now they're the same.
So you have the 3D. Yeah.
So that's a trick. And it's often just that trick where you try to do, if you have two things like this, 1 minus something, multiply it by 1 plus that thing, and you might get one of these formulas that you want. If it says 1 plus, multiply it by 1 minus. Okay? It might help. So that's one example of something you can do. We're going to try another one. All right, last one. Example 5. Okay, now we are not going to freak out. Jackson Coverman, you never freak out. Cool.
I know, it's hard to draw. I mean, I can't
Draw,
draw
just
it.
change it to theta. Make it a fish.
That's what.
Okay.
Oh, I see the part.
That's an alpha.
I know what we're gonna do.
Okay, well, chill out. Give everybody else a chance, all right? All right. Blick. Suggestions, ideas. Where would you want to tackle first? Thomas, what do you think?
The right side, top right,
The top right?
is that something on the green sheet?
That is something on the green sheet. That is one way to do this problem. Another way is to break it down into x and y's and go straight from there. We can do this either way, yeah?
So are we gonna, be using the green sheet for the homework?
Literally just these two formulas. If you want to write them down, you can. It is that A, here's the first one, where was it? This one? The other one we're going to use is this one. A plus B times A plus B is equal to A squared plus AB plus AB plus B squared, which makes A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. Bye, Natalie. So those are the two formulas we're going to use. Can you see why Thomas thought, oh, can you see it? Look at this. Look at the top right. You can also do this by breaking it down into X's and Y's. So if you're like, man, what if I couldn't see this? No problem. We can figure it out a different way. So what is A in this problem? 1. What is B? Sine of alpha, right? Okay. So if we break it down into going the other way, if we factor it, if we go from this to this, we're going to end up with 1 plus B, or 1 plus sine alpha and 1 plus sine alpha. So I'm going to rewrite the top of the equation as 1 plus sine alpha and 1 plus sine alpha. Mm-hmm.